Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're looking at some really interesting connections, prophecy, big societal changes, and, how we actually see reality.
That's right. We've got this collection of short stories, quite different on the surface, but they weave together these deep themes about, well, the human condition.
Our goal is really to pull out the most compelling ideas from these narratives for you. So let's dive right in with the first one, the prophecy.
Ah, yes, Miriam.
Yeah, Miriam. So she emerges after, what was it, 93 weeks inside a fridge.
93 weeks. And she's physically transformed, completely different.
But her first thoughts, they're about clothes, her basil plant, the pomegranate tree, the state of her yard.
It's fascinating, that immediate focus on the familiar, the mundane. Like psychologists talk about this response to extreme trauma. It's about finding an anchor.
Right, seeking normalcy when everything is absolutely not normal. And she's resourceful, too, using a razor blade, even rose thorns to fix her clothes.
But that focus shifts pretty quick when she tries to open the northern gate.
And sees the devastation beyond. It's a total shock.
And we get that flashback, don't we, to why she went in the fridge in the first place.
Yeah, her parents, the municipal truck. It was an escape, a desperate act of self-preservation.
Which led to this almost unbelievable transformation. It's like a metaphor, maybe, for how societies change radically and how people find ways to survive, however strange.
Okay, then there's Sahil. He's watching all this unfold.
Right, the observer. His job is just monitoring her house, hitting cameras, the whole deal. Must have been pretty dull
Until she wakes up.
Yeah.
And he sees the white cat, hears this audio clip.
the key bit, the prophecy itself. Miriam, mother of a future world ruler.
And Riddhi, he was supposed to be the father.
And how does Miriam react to that news?
Not well. There's a violent encounter. Riddhi literally turns to ice and melts. It's wild.
Very wild. And then things escalate quickly with the official announcement.
The municipality declares her cursed, sentences her to death. Public opinion turns just like that.
But then, almost immediately, another twist.
An astrologer shows up with a new prophecy, a child, but in 10 years.
It highlights how quickly narratives can shift, how people latch onto hope or, the next big explanation.
Sahil talks to this astrologer, they leave, and then...
The bulldozers arrive, destroy the house, the fridge, everything.
And the townspeople's reaction, they see it as confirmation somehow. A second coming.
It's this dizzying cycle, isn't it? Prophecy, hope, violence, destruction, and then more belief, just searching for meaning in chaos.
Okay, let's pivot. Story 2. Banga. Totally different setting, a forest.
Yeah, this one shifts perspective. We're seeing things through the eyes of the forest animals, watching these newcomers, 4 two-legged creatures.
The animals are wary at first, naturally, observing them.
Taking note of their appearance, leaves for clothes, the female feeding the young.
Yeah.
Basic survival stuff.
And there's this local predator, a territorial clawed animal, initially a threat.
Right, but then it gets spooked, sees them hunting fish,
Yeah.
learns they're competitors maybe, or just different. Unpredictable.
Then the drought hits. Things get tense. The newcomers start chanting, Banga.
The cry bonga, what does it mean? A plea, a name. It becomes central.
They discover stones, figure out fire. That terrifies the predator. Fire is a game changer.
A huge technological leap, really. Changes the whole power dynamic in the forest.
There's a dream. The young newcomer dreams of the predator, and the Banga chant gets more intense.
And it culminates in violence. The strong newcomer kills the young predator with a sharpened stick.
The adult predator reacts, but then rain arrives. It's quite an ending. Adaptation, conflict, maybe even answered prayers.
It really explores that encounter with the other, survival, and how new elements like tools or collective cries can reshape an environment.
Okay, finally, let's touch on the Zero generation. This one feels more philosophical.
Definitely. It starts with the narrator's routine near this old banyan tree. Lots of local myths around it.
And this mysterious artist appears. The narrator's initially suspicious.
Understandably. Then they talk. The artist says he's from the Zero generation.
What does that even mean? He says art comes from emptiness, from zero.
It's an intriguing idea. Then he invites the narrator to his house.
Which looks like a wreck from the outside.
But inside, pristine, filled with these powerful paintings depicting, real social issues.
That contrast is stark. The artist tells this story, too, about a magician king with no subjects.
Suggesting that art, maybe, needs reality. It needs that friction, that connection to the world to have meaning, to be sharpened.
But then the artist just disappears. The house, too, gone.
Poof, like he was never there. but the impact remains.
Yeah, the narrator sees him or thinks he sees him years later during a job interview.
And the story ends back in the banyan tree. The narrator is waiting, maybe hoping.
The artist doesn't show, but a boy walks up and asks him, "Are you an artist?"
That final question is great. It leaves you wondering about legacy, influence, the nature of art itself.
So bringing it all together, what are the threads connecting Miriam, Bonga, and the Zero Generation artist?
Well, you see these cycles, right? Expectation and disappointment, often tied to prophecies or powerful beliefs, like with Miriam.
And encounters with the unknown, the animals and the newcomers in Bonga, the narrator and the artist, how these encounters force a rethink.
Exactly. They challenge existing realities, existing power structures, and underlying it all is perception. How individuals and groups interpret events shapes everything.
Miriam's story shows the power of belief, but also the danger of unmet expectations. Bonga raises questions about coexistence, survival.
And the Zero Generation delves into art, meaning, and how we find significance maybe in fleeting encounters or ideas that seem to come from nowhere.
They all force us to look at the stories we construct, personally and as societies.
Definitely. How those narratives frame our whole world.
So a final thought for everyone listening. How do these stories make you think about your own assumptions, about the future, about meeting the unfamiliar, about how your own viewpoint shapes what you see?
Yeah, what are the prophecies or maybe just expectations that guide your life? And how do you handle it when reality throws you a curveball?
Something to mull over. Thanks for tuning in to The Deep Dive.